Ooh, what's going on, Cog Squad? We're gonna try something today that will pretty much change everything on the homestead. Alright, I've been covering these fruit trees up. These fig trees, these newly planted fig trees during this crazy cold spell we got. They're just young and tender, and figs are a warm weather fruit tree. They are from the Mediterranean area, and even though we're in zone 8, the colder temperatures they say we're going to get could really possibly damage those new fig trees. I mean, they could even damage the big ones, but definitely the little ones, since they just got planted a couple of weeks ago. But so far, everybody is doing okay in this cold weather. We are managing and getting through it all. No issues whatsoever. Everybody's fine. That right, Nugget? Ain't that right, buddy? That's right. We got some even colder temperatures coming later this week. We've been in the, oh gosh, during the day it's been in the mid 50s, but at night it drops down to the low 20s. But there's still no sun. I mean, we got a little bit right now, but it's still just really cloudy. The sun may come out just for a little bit, but then it just disappears, and it's just a really cloudy, overcast, and that makes it so much colder. Don't it, Moo Man? Our big plan today: harvest some greens, collard greens, turnip greens, and see what else we got out there. We actually been harvesting Swiss chard, trying to get it used up, or using a lot of it that we can before this 11-degree weather sets in. That may knock my Swiss chard out. It may knock a lot of stuff out. You know, I grow a lot during the fall and winter here, and we typically don't have days this cold. But what I want to do is harvest some collard greens, some turnip greens, get a mess of them, cook a mess of them, and freeze dry them, and see how that turns out. So that's our plan for today. Ain't that right, Moody? I tell y'all, with the bigger garden that we got going on, from this point forward, I'm really wanting to see how much food we can grow for ourselves. I'm hoping at some point I'm going to be around 80%, especially with the cost of groceries being so high nowadays. Plus, you know, growing your own food, you know what, everything's gone in it. But I really would like to get to a point that 80% of the food we eat comes from our homestead. So that's what I'm hoping for. So preserving food like the greens, this will be our first time trying the greens with the Harvest Strike freeze dryer. So preserving the food is a big ordeal, and something that's extremely important for us. So fingers crossed this works out. Give him a little horse treat. Everybody's getting the horse treats. Got a lot of you guys send us some horse treats, and we're very grateful for that. All right, so this is Toppity Top and Joe's and their little horse treat. All right, let's get you guys fed this morning. All right, so we got our clippers, and we're fixing to go harvest some greens and see if we can get them freeze dried. Our plan is to cook them first, then freeze dry them, so when we're ready to use them, we'll just put them in a pot, add some water to them, and they'll be just like the day they were when we cooked them. So they should taste like fresh, cooked collard greens and turnip greens. Jason, what exactly is freeze drying, and why is it any different than dehydrating? Well, freeze drying and dehydrating are two totally different things. Mainly, they kind of do the same thing, but freeze drying just does it way better. And this is how. Both freeze drying and dehydrating try to do the same thing, and that is to remove the moisture content from your food, because that's what causes spoilage. But freeze drying will remove 99% of the water content from the food versus dehydrating, which only does about 70% of removing the water content. Now, also, when you freeze dry something, it does not change the look or the flavor of the food. So what that means is that when you go to use it again, you can reconstitute it with water or stock or whatever, and it's just like the day you put it in a freeze dryer. Versus dehydrating, you can't do that. Also, freeze drying food will last up to 25 years versus dehydrating food lasts about 1 year. And with freeze drying, you lose no flavor, you use no nutritional value. It's just like the day it was picked or harvested, or when you put it in your freeze dryer, which dehydrating food you can't do that with. So that's the main difference between freeze drying and dehydrating.
What are we gonna put them in? I've got a 5-gallon bucket over here.
I got my big basket. I just had it. I done lost it already. Maybe I took it inside.
Oh my gracious.
Grab this and get to cutting. Get it, you gotta stay here. Here's gonna stay in the window though and watch. All right, girl. We're gonna go cut some greens. How many you think will fit on those pans? One batch?
I'm thinking 2.
You know, we got another set,
but it's not gonna
but I don't
hurt.
know where they are.
I know where they are.
Okay.
It's not gonna hurt to cut and cook as many as we can. Whatever fits. We refrigerate the rest of them.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
And then when the next batch is out, then we
I
put
see what you're saying.
Because they're gonna be ready.
Yeah, they're gonna freeze.
You wanna get that Hulse basket?
I got the blue tote.
Okay.
Yeah, we should have enough.
Oh, you know our cat dog's gotta go.
Yeah, our cat dog. Our cat dog. All right, cat dog. Let's roll.
Does that mean we've arrived?
We arrived. So, the sun's not out. I don't have any heat going on in here right now, but it's so warm in this greenhouse. Look at this. Isn't that crazy? It feels so good in here. If y'all get cold, just go in the greenhouse.
Is it warm?
Ooh, is it warm?
Did Tucker go in?
No, Tucker's right here.
Oh, she's waiting on us.
I'm gonna start down here in the back.
This is broccoli, isn't it?
No, that's collard greens. Yeah, I'm really thinking if anything is gonna get bit, it will be these turnip greens, these all-top turnip greens. The leaves are so thin, you can see that they wilted. They wilted just from the cold last night. Versus the collard greens, which look amazing still. But there's a reaction in greens. I know collard greens and turnip greens, and I'm sure kale probably too. But when they get bit just a little bit, when they hit those cooler temperatures, they actually get sweeter in flavor. And that is bitter. But preserving these guys are going to be awesome. Pretty stoked about this. Tucker helping?
She's supervising.
Get her a basket, don't we?
She took Peach's job.
Yeah, Peaches is, I think Peaches is in retirement.
Yeah. She hired Tucker to take her place.
Yeah, she's starting to sub a lot of stuff out that she normally would handle. You know, even in 20-degree weather, they still look pretty darn good.
Yeah, they look really good.
Because it was about 20 last night.
You know what else?
What's that?
I've got a recipe that I want to make with some raw ones.
Oh, sweet.
You want to swap?
What is it?
She said her basket's heavy.
I bet it's full.
Hey, look.
Oh my gracious. I see that big old basket you got. My gracious.
You got more than me or Daddy.
All right, so he got us 3 big baskets full of greens. Also picked us some Swiss chard for some stir fry tonight. And oh, my mouth's watering just thinking about it. I bet you may cook some cornbread too.
You think?
Yeah, I bet so. That's gonna be a lot of cornbread with this. And
freeze-dried cornbread?
freeze-dried cornbread. Oh my gracious. Also, we have some bad leaves in here. What's happening is that, you know, I'm sure everybody in the country is experiencing this crazy weather we've got. But last week, we were in the 70s and 2 days were in the 80s. So we had a little pest issue popped up for several days because of those mild temperatures. And so they started eating here a little bit pretty good. You can see all the damage we got here. I haven't seen but a couple of worms. We saw some eggs on the collard greens, so Brooke cut those out, and we'll either compost these or feed them to the animals. Chickens will eat them up pretty good. Moody loves collard greens, so they will be not wasted, I can tell you that. And this insect damage happened pretty fast. You hear me say it all the time, be proactive and not reactive. And that's why. And I usually don't spray in the fall and winter, y'all, because I don't have that much pest pressure. Also, we usually don't have 80 degrees in December either. So it is what it is. We still got plenty of greens. Everything's fine. I'm thinking that the collards are going to make it through the super cold temperatures. I got a feeling that the turnips won't. So we'll just wait and see. But I think we'll be fine. I think we will be fine. I think in a couple of weeks, we'll be able to harvest some more greens. But if not, we're going to have some freeze-dried. And if this freeze-drying thing works, you know, I can plant this again in early spring. And we can get a good bit of food off of it before that hot summer hits. All right, Tuck. We gotta go wash some greens. Yeah, we gotta go wash some greens, girl.
Well, she'll probably help with that too.
She probably will. So we got the greens inside, and we're doing our 3-part wash method where we wash the greens 3 times. And I've learned over the years, and Brooke's mom got us these collapsible washing dishes. They're actually, I think they're advertised for washing greens and vegetables, and they're just so awesome. I'll put a link in the video description. I did that last time, and you guys seem to really like that. So I'm going to do that again, but loving these collapsible washing bowls. They got drains in the bottom of them, just perfect for washing greens. And what we do is we fill one up with water. We tear our greens in pieces and de-stem them. Put the greens in the pot of the water. And while I'm cleaning those greens, I start watering the next pot. And then, of course, we'll wash them 3 times that way until we get them good and clean. And I'll do one more final rinse. And that's how we wash our greens. Now, what we're doing is over here is Brooke's got 2 pots of greens going. And basically, we just cook our greens, almost any green, doesn't matter what it is, in stock, vegetable stock, chicken stock, whatever we have on hand. And that's how we cook them. And we just cook them until they're wilted down and tender. And that is it. And then from this point forward, we will fill our freeze dryer trays up And boy, you're gonna let them drain first for a little bit.
I'm going to let them sit in the colander and let them drain completely because we don't want a wet, soggy collard going into the freeze dryer trays.
And they don't want them super hot either.
No, we want them to cool down so that after they finish draining, I may pop them in the refrigerator or maybe even the freezer if we can find enough space.
Right.
So we can get a head start on it. That does help when you're freeze drying if you pop something in the freezer first and freeze it versus putting it in at room temperature.
And we actually have 2 sets of trays. We have double the trays for that purpose, that we can have 4 trays in the freeze dryer and then have 4 trays loaded up in the freezer, ready to go for the next batch.
So if you're thinking about buying a freeze dryer, you may want to keep that in mind when you're making the initial purchase, because if you're gonna freeze dry more than one batch of something, to have those trays pre-frozen is a very big time saver.
Yeah, it is. All right, let's continue on cleaning
All right.
greens.
We got a good system going.
We do got a good system going.
This doesn't make me want to start a commercial restaurant or
It don't?
anything. No, don't get any ideas. Cog collards or something
Cog
like
collars. Gidget, what do you think about cog collars?
that? That sounds delicious.
All right, as you can see, we have already started putting the greens on the Harvest Right freeze dryer trays. I got this batch here I'm fixing to put on there that's good and drained, or as drained as I can get it. It's still a little warm, but they'll cool off quickly on these trays. And we're just lining the trays to the thickness that we think. Well, you know, we can stack them up higher than this. You just don't want to stack it up too high when you go to slide the tray in, it would hit. Plus, too, the thicker it is, more than likely the longer it's going to take to freeze dry. We're hoping these don't take super long because of the moisture content, but we shall find out. And there we go. We got these guys ready. Right here.
And I'll have you another pot in just a minute.
By the time that is, these will be cooled off and ready to load that freeze dryer up. And my buddy over here is snoozing away. I don't blame you, it's cold outside, ain't it? Yeah. Snooze away, buddy, while we get these collard greens ready. All right, so I'm out here at the freeze dryer, and we ended up getting 5 pots on here, and that is 10 days worth of food for us, family of 3. Depends on how much greens you eat too, but that should be 10 days right here. Right there. If you haven't seen the freeze dryer, it's super easy. I'm gonna close the door. I'm gonna make sure this valve is turned off because it creates a huge vacuum. This thing will get like negative 32 degrees. Then it goes up to like 180 degrees, then back down. It's very, very scientific. But it's really, really cool. This is the freeze dryer itself. It's got a pump down here that pulls vacuum. It's really cool. What I like about it is just a set it and forget it thing. I'm gonna hit start, and this thing is completely, I mean, that's all you gotta do. It's just gonna take overnight for it to, this is not frozen. Our next batch will be frozen, but it'll take overnight. It'll be 24 hours, maybe less. The drain's closed. It reminds you to close the drain. And now it's freezing. It's currently 58 degrees in here. And this thing, like I said, it'll go down to very, very cold. All right, so here is the second batch. And Brooke corrected me. You corrected me. It is 28 days worth of food.
Yes.
Not what I had thought, but 28 days.
It's 28 servings for 3 or 4 people.
All right, so we're fixing to go take them on down and freeze these and have these ready to go in the freeze dryer tomorrow.
As soon as the other ones come out,
Yeah.
then we'll pop these in pre-frozen and it'll save that much time.
Yeah, it will. It won't cut it in half, but it will cut the time down somewhat. 28 days worth of food.
28 days worth of food.
Goodness, that's good news, ain't it, Arlo? All right, so I'm headed in here to get them out of the freeze dryer. And before I get them out, I do want to tell you guys, if you're interested in a Harvest Right freeze dryer, now is the time, because they have up to $500 off a freeze dryer from Harvest Right up until December 31st. So I'll put a link down below, and if you do use our link, we get a small commission at no extra cost to you guys whatsoever, and it does help our channel and farm out a lot. Now, let's get these guys out. All right, so I'm out here, and you can see how different it looks. You'll see when I pull it out, for sure it looks different. It says process complete. I've never had one. I never had to pull it out and had to add more drying time, but you can. And this one ran for 26 hours. I'm gonna be honest with you, it may have been ready an hour ago or something, but we've been busy, so it'll stay in this mode. You gotta open the drain to let it vent, because if not, this thing has got a huge, you can't open it. There's no way, because that pump has such a vacuum on this thing, it won't open. So you gotta open this drain up over here, and you hear it, now it released. I'm not going to do anything here because I want to make sure this thing's ready first. Look at the ice just popping off of it. Now it'll open. Y'all look at that. Look at this. Lucky Charm marshmallows. I know most people know what that is. Lucky Charm marshmallows are freeze-dried marshmallows. And so that's what this is like. If that makes any sense. Lucky Charm marshmallows. But look at this. Look at this. Isn't that awesome? So at this point, what you can do is you can put it in Ziploc bags, which will last you a good long time. You can put it in mason jars, which will last you a good long time. Now, if you wanted this to last for years, you can use the Mylar bags that they sell, and you get their sealer right here, and you seal it. If you use the Mylar bags, this will last 25 years. But we're probably just gonna do ours in Ziploc bags because we'll eat it. We're gonna eat it before 25 years. I can promise you that. Let's get them unloaded. Okay, so I got one tray in there because I wanted to show Brooke. But y'all, these are also, and you could do this because, you know, kale chips are like super popular, but these make awesome chips. They are delicious.
They are so good. And crunchy.
So crunchy.
All right.
So come August or June or July and we want some collard greens, some fresh collard greens, we got them.
That's right.
We got them.
They make it that far.
That's right. So basically, what did we say? We got 28 days here.
That's right.
We're fixing to load 4 more in there. That'll be another 28 days. So right now, we got 2 months worth of collard greens.
That's right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's a little late. We've had a lot going on today. And so we're going to cook these in another video coming up soon to let you guys know exactly what they taste like. And look, we got cabinet doors. If you watch our lives, you know we got some cabinet doors, but they're all not in yet. Soon, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Y'all be good and stay tuned for when we do cook these collard greens.